this video, I'm going to break you down the content strategy you want to follow on social media, on every single platform that you can follow on every single platform. The reason is the only difference between platforms are content types, right? The algorithm is the same. They're trying to get people's attention and keep it as long as possible. So what you want to focus on is human psychology, right? Because you have your purpose of like, what is your goal for your content strategy. If you're here, it's going to be to convert your target audience into high-ticket clients. This is the goal of your content strategy. So it's going to be somewhat the same throughout every single platform. Only difference is, for example, I post on X, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. On X and on TikTok and on Instagram, these are short-form content platforms. So the only difference between those two is like on TikTok, I have more pictures, carousels, and on Instagram, I have more reels. I post like one reel a day, and then I have 3 carousels per week. On TikTok, I post two to 4 times a day. It's going to be carousels. On YouTube, it's long-form content. On X, it's written content. On YouTube, I post 2 times a week, and these are long-form videos. And the only difference is that there is like personal content and there is business content, so niche content, right? And then the niche content, the thing that I do is the growth it's growth content, right? It's niche content. It's not going to be like top value content and then deep value content. While I do the differently on TikTok and on Instagram and on X. Now, because essentially, since it's long form, you can totally go from top value content to deep value content, which is also the main purpose of YouTube. You can totally do both, right? Since it's long form, that's the point. While on X, so on my personal experience, I don't have 170 followers on X, right? So I don't have a lot of experience in it. But what I see from people, what they do is that they are on the same post, right? There is some top value posts, and then there is some deep value posts dedicated for each, but also plenty of posts where they just go from top to bottom, right? As like threads, or have like just one long post. Right? So on X is smooth. It's not the same platform as like Instagram or TikTok, since it's more intellectual platform. Depending on which side you are, right? There's some things were of course funny to see, right? Now digging into the content strategy. First thing is I'm going to show you a couple of results to show you that I don't talk out of nowhere. This is Bruno, who's a woman love coach, and 24 hours after our battle plan call, so I enrolled him. And then we had 2 days where we broke down I gave him the roadmap to follow for the first 3 days. After those first 2 days, we had a third day where we have a battle plan call, and after the battle plan call, here's where the coaching really starts. And there, 24 hours afterwards, he posts first on Facebook. He then had it on Facebook. He posted on Facebook. He had 26 comments and 6 leads, and he booked his first call 24 hours after that battle plan call. Then we have Maulabai, who is a fitness coach. And he in 45 days on Instagram. This is on Facebook and Instagram. This is on Instagram. He got his first 5 clients at $1,500 in 45 days, one-time payments. And then we have Chris, who is an affiliate marketing coach, and he went from $20,000 per month to $45,000 per month, going from booking 3 to 4 calls per day to 7 to 10 calls per day. And all of those results came from purely organic. Right, so organic lead generation, no paid, no like lead generation tool, no ads, no story space, all organic lead generation, all free. So first thing is there's some preparation. Do you want to build your account for business, or do you want to build it for personal brand, right? And so of course, if you're watching this video, you mainly want to you have a business that you're running, and it's more of a high-ticket business, mainly coaching. And you want to convert your target audience into high-ticket clients. And so, do you want to go only business, or you want to do business and personal brand? And I've seen on my personal experience, and what I've seen is that it's easier to close with get clients with the personal brand. As you can see, personal brand is taking over literally the internet. Now you see, once you know which way you want to take, now you're going to have a direction on what to take, right? So you're going to know what type of content to post, how to deal with content essentially. And this is how you're going to show off your personal brand and put out niche content. Number two is you want to make a list of the top 10 pain points of goals of your target audience and all the objections that you can get on sales calls and that you get also on sales calls. This will give you unlimited content ideas, literally. Those two lists plus sales call objections give you unlimited content ideas, and this is literally all you need. Well, then you have plenty of other ways to get content ideas, but this is literally all you need. And you can like build out your whole business with just coaching business with just those two things, those three lists. As like, I know one of my pain points of my target audience is that they don't know how to get content ideas. And I have 10 different ways of getting content ideas. And I usually use 1, 2, 3. I usually use 3. Like every single time I use 3, right? So one is the list. Number 2 is my content pillars. This is like my last point that I use. Number 3 is research. Right? So I look at what is working. I look at like on TikTok research, Instagram research, YouTube research, X research, and also look at like what is working with my posts. These are I usually use research and lists. And then pillars is like realize if I like 1, 2 content that I would say, okay, what are my pillars here? Boom, 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 and I know. But essentially, the point is that, for example, to make a video about how to get if one of my target audience pain points that they don't know how to get content ideas. So one thing I would do is post a video on how to get content ideas. And since I have 10 different ways, I can make 10 different videos. On Monday, I can post a video of like how to get content ideas, and I can post in same video, so like the same topic for 10 days. And since it's different like topic, same topic but different, like there's a switch every single time. For example, I say here you can use TikTok research, explain how. Here you can use Instagram research. Here you can use YouTube research. Here you can use X research. That's already 4. Is the same way of getting content. So I still have 9 other ways. It's like this is literally have 13 content ideas right here. Right, then just the thing is that I'm going to just change the hook, or with those first four content ideas, I can go like, here's how you can get unlimited content ideas, part 1. And I go part 1, part 2, part 3, boom, boom. And I go for the whole week for 13 days, part 13, right? It's you have enough content ideas for one pain point. Literally, I have 13 content ideas for one pain point. And if you go, for example, to another pain point, as like now I'm handling sales objections, or it'll be like how to go on in the DMs, right? Or for example, the system to use, right? They don't have a set system. I help coaches get to $5,000 per month. Build a coaching business to $5,000 per month with content creation without spending a single dollar. And so now, one of the pain points is that they don't have a reliable system that they can rely themselves on. They can go like this, just like a sure system that can go like just focus and dial in, right? And so now I have, let's say I go content ideas, then I go sales objections, then I go system, and I can go again content ideas, right? Because now there's some time has passed between 2 new audiences coming in. Some of them haven't seen the whole series. I can change the hook. I can repost the same videos. Those have worked. It's like you have enough content ideas with those lists alone. So one list of pain point, one list of goal, and one list of the sales objections. Next point is the content strategy. So you have three different stages. When you are mainly on Instagram, right? So you have you don't have a limited amount of bullets, but you have like on Instagram you're mainly posting 1 to 3 times a day. Right? On X you can post more, and it's easier to post more. On Instagram, on TikTok, also it's easier to post more. It's when you're depending on the type of content you're posting. If you're posting photos, it's easy to post more. Right? And I post 2 to 4 times on TikTok. It doesn't take a lot of time at all. But on Instagram, when you're posting reels, it can be somewhat more work, and especially I've seen the most results posting 1 to 3 times. I tell my clients post 1 to 3, maximum 4 times a day. And so you don't have a lot of ammunition, right? But everybody's trying to do everything like content strategy, but like growth content, deep content, and branding content, and then like conversion content, community building content, and then like I don't know, for example, like short form content, long form content. Like they use literally everything, right? And so then they do 10% of everything, but then every single one of those things has like it doesn't have enough leverage to have actually an impact. right? So the point that then it's useless. It's useless essentially. So you better to have less, to dial down a couple of things that actually work, and the things that would have less and push forward than having so many things that don't work. So also the more followers you get, the more audience you get. So the more followers you get, the bigger audience becomes, the more views you get, and the more impact your content has. Right? You don't grow to 1,000. When you grow like to 1,000 followers, 5,000 followers, the difference is that like you have recurring viewers also. Like for example, when getting started, you don't have any recurring viewers, but now you post valuable content. Let's say someone comes in and sees your content, they see you have valuable content, they follow you, and they will come back to see your content. Like, what did he post? Oh, it's interesting. I'm gonna check that. And you have recurring viewers now. And these are also ideal clients. We have recurring viewers, people watching again your content. And essentially, this makes like if someone have like a view, one view, and a long watch time, as like they watch till the end, and they engage with the content, a like or a comment, or they save it, they share it. Right? This is getting more recurring viewers. The further you get, like the bigger your audience becomes. So if you have less than 1,000 followers, you want to go focus on 90% growth content and 10% branding content. Here for branding content, I can also go niche content. Say it's niche content because. So I'm going to show afterwards the content types. There is one content type that's going to be nurturing content, and this goes into the same as growth content. So growth content and nurturing content goes into the same box. Then you have between 1,000 to 10,000 followers, with 70% growth content, 20% conversion content, and 10% branding content. And if you have more than 10,000 followers, you have 60% growth content, 20% conversion content, and 20% branding content. For the content types, you have growth content, branding content, nurturing content, and conversion content. Only four, right? In the conversion content, you don't go hard on it because you have like those ones who nurture and grows your audience. And the main way I tell my audience, my clients to sell is through content, through Instagram stories, right? And then also converting them into the email list and selling in the email list. So this is the one that you don't use in more than 20%, right? Exactly 20% right here. Right, so then you're dialing more those ones. So you're more dialing it on like 3 content types. And the reason I said growth content and nurturing content are the same because these are more niche content, right? So you want to attract your target audience. So your growth content is not going to be dances or stuff like that. It's going to be like wasting food. Like see people they put on tomatoes. I saw a video where like someone had passed and threw out a whole bin of tomato paste, tomato sauce. This is not the type of content you're gonna post, right? This gets views, right? Because this piques people's attention. Like, what the fuck is he doing? But it's not going to be the ideal content for giving clients, of course. And so you want to. Those two are niche content. And so the way you can like know which one to post is like depending on which stage you are. If you want at the beginning, you're posting more content is going to be to attract your target audience as like more growth content, but also you can go half and half, right? Like 50% growth content, 40% nurturing content at the beginning. As like you have 90% of growth content, right? And the also another thing is that they are somewhat the same. You're sharing value in both ones, right? And here, for example, it's more where you're showing deep value and you're showing off testimonials. You talk to your target audience. The main difference that you just here talk to your target audience right here. You have tendency of less doing it. So I'm going to show you afterwards, right? So these are the same content, very similar content actually. For growth content, the point about growth content is that you want to get a lot of views. And you do this by like, so one of the ways you do this is by, so of course, having a good hook, all that sort of stuff, of course. But one thing you can do is that you take your target audience. They have a problem. For example, their problem is that they want to get their first client. And so you break down the strategy to get their first client. This is going to be your content, breaking down how they can get their first client. And you can tell them, for example, your first client, you're not going to get your first client through content, you're going to get it through outbound. Boom, you break this down. But instead of saying, listen, coaches, here's how you can get your first clients, you're going to say, here's how you can get your first clients. And so on the first one, only coaches are going to look at the video, or mainly coaches at least. Because let's say I'm a copywriter and I see this video I'm going to think, well, okay, it's only for coaches, right? It's not for me. I'm going to go watch a video for coaches, for copywriters. But now let's say I'm a copywriter and the video is, here's how I can get your first client. I'm going to say, I want to get my first client. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to watch the video. And even though the thing is that you also want to break down the value for your target audience, as like the steps to get the first client is going to be for your target audience, right? Not for copywriters, for your target audience. But since you didn't say this is for this target audience, people who want to get the first client, they're all going to watch the video. So it's going to be coaches, this is your target audience, but also copywriters and agency owners, and consultants, and social media marketers, and all those couple others like VAs, right? All those others, audiences are going to look at the video. All those other people, it's going to get more views, it's going to get more engagement, more watch time, right? And so you're going to get more views out of this. And so essentially, what's it? Yeah, that's the main point. There was something else, which was exactly. Let's say now you post only coaches, you listen coaches here so I can get your first client. You get 1,000 views, right? You have like you say 30% of them who are coaches. Or you have 300 coaches will watch your video. But now let's say you don't go for your own target audience, and you essentially post to you go without labeling your target audience for the video. Well, now let's say you get like 10,000 views, right? And you have like 10% who watch the video. That's 1,000 coaches. 10% of you on target audience who watch the video. That's 1,000 coaches who watch the video, right? So now you have more views. You have less percentage, right? But you have more coaches who watch the video. That's the main point of it. More of your target audience who watch the video. It's not since it's for your account is for coaches, your first content for coaches. And we're gonna have another couple of followers like copywriters and all that sort of stuff on the other audience, but you're gonna get a lot of coaches who are gonna follow you since the video is dedicated, the value is dedicated for them. And when they go on your account, they see I help coaches get this point. Right, so they see on your bio, they look at your other content, they see that you are helping them, so they're gonna follow you. Next step is branding content. The bigger the mistake that most people are gonna do when starting off a business is that they only post business. But you want your client to know you, trust you, and like know you, like you, and trust you. And only business is not enough to do this, right? As like first step of knowing you is that you grab their attention, and then you tell your story and all that sort of stuff. This stuff to know you, and then like you is by through branding content, and you build a trust by sharing off testimonials and expertise, right? And also doing what you say. That's one thing, right? But then now, the point is that if you only post business content, you miss the know you and the like you part. You're only building trust. And so it used to work back then, so before social media, that's what people used to do a lot as like only business content. It used to work. But now the people want to buy from people. So you want to have branding content as like more showing off your personal, right? So this is where you post, you show your values, you show your life, you show your beliefs, you share your opinions. This will build a bond with them. That's the point of it. And essentially what you can do is like you just show it for them right here. I show myself fighting. I show myself working. Those are a couple of things you want to show them off, right? So now it's going to build a connection with your target audience, and now you're going to be able to you're going to like the people who are going to connect with it are going to buy easier and even faster, right? And people tell me like, well, what if what about the people who don't like this, right? Who are not going to like me, right? Well, number one, you worry about the wrong people, because if for example like I see someone who's posting off branding content and I don't agree with their views, right? Their beliefs, right? I'm not going to be emotional about it. Right? So I know that I don't agree with it. Okay, fine, but that's it. There is nothing else, right? It's like then when when they post valuable content, I'm going to read the valuable content. I'm going to watch the valuable content. I want the value, and if they have a really valuable program, well then I'm going to take the program any way of that they can agree with them or not, and then depends on, of course, right, how far it gets, right? Like for example, When it goes really too far, right? It's like when it really goes like on the opposite. This is something different, right? Like, right, this is something else, right? As like, for example, I'm not gonna take a coaching program from how do you call it, genocide man, right? Of course not. This is something that's just goes too far, right? But just to tell you that like there's some views that there's some views you don't agree with the person. There's some views I don't agree with the person. The program is long. I just like it's nothing, right? It's like okay, well, I know I don't agree, but it is it's nothing, right? I'm not emotional about it. The program is valuable. I'm still going to take it, right? It's very valuable. That's the point of it. Well, if you have some people who don't agree with you and then they start to get emotional about it, these are not going to be ideal clients because they're too emotional. I think you're going to wake up one day, you're going to wake up every 3 days, and you're going to have a message of that person. You're going to go like this on DM and the messages, right? In 1 hour, right? Let's say their time is like -1 hour from you. So you wake up at, let's say 7, they wake up at 6 at your time, they wake up at 7 plus 1 hour, not bad. They wake up at 7 at their time, and it's at 6 at your time. And in 1 hour, they went like, I have a problem with like the course, it's crashing, oh my god. Then oh no, it's fine, it's my internet connection. And then they go like, oh no, I have a problem with the tool that you gave me, oh my god, oh no, it's my internet connection, boom, 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 boom. Until you wake up and get to the end of you go from the beginning to the end of the conversation, and you see, here's the beginning of the conversation, it's the end of the world, end of the conversation, it's everything is fine. Right? But then it's that also these are not ideal clients to work with as like more emotional clients. And so people who don't agree with it and that they unfollow you, these are not ideal clients. But people who agree with it are going to convert easier and faster from you. That's even better. Right? You're also going to make separate the audience, right? And then now people who unfollow you, it's going to be a polar opposite of like they're not going to buy, not. But the people who there is not going to be no in between, as like yeah, okay, he's cool, okay, yeah, I'm going to check it out. No, it's going to be the people who are going to agree with you that like I want to buy. That's how it's going to be, right? It's going to be like it's going to be boom. It's going to force it to. It's going to be forced to have someone two opposites, two polars. Now next thing is nurturing content. The audience needs to trust you to buy from your service, right? This is where you share your results, your own story, your testimonials, your experience, and your expertise, right? When you share deep value, because the thing is, if you don't have testimonials yet, you want to share extra expertise, right? It's like you can share your own results, but if you have don't have you also of course you want to have the experience to like for example, you're having people get their first client, you want to only have your first client, of course, right? But if you want to share your own, if you don't have loads of testimonials, you have like any testimonials at all, it's your first time beginning, or then you can share expertise value. Like when I used to be an online coach for affiliate marketers, and I switched to online coach for coaches, then I had clients in the affiliate marketing business, affiliate marketing coaching business, but then I had clients in coaching coaches, right? But I had expertise, right? So I had my own stories, but I also had expertise. This is what I showed out first, right? And so now when you share deep value, it's like you're helping this target audience that they don't have the outcome get to this outcome. So essentially, and you are here, you already had the outcome, so you have the expertise. And so the gap in between is what you break down. And the gap in between, they're going to find it really valuable. That's the thing. And so when you show on this gap, they're going to think he knows what he's talking about. He's on his camera. He knows things that I don't know. Right? He's sharing valuable content. You don't want to just share like top 10 hooks of X, Y, and Z. These are more growth content. You want to share, for example, how to handle this strategy occasion, or like this is the one tweak that you need to make in your email list, or email newsletter, right? Or stuff like that, right? And the one tweak is going to be in copywriting, separating the audience as like it's going to be starting off with conversion emails instead of going like listen, if you don't get this outcome, or then do this, or then call to action is like listen, labeling your target on your email list. If you can go like if you are this is not for you. But if you are this, then this is specifically for you. And it's not going to be only like, oh, if you're lazy and motivated and sort of stuff. No. If you are like, if you are a coach with 1,000 followers, who's getting 500 views per reel on average, who's getting like 3 comments per content, right? And boom, 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 boom. Those specific things, right? And that you are not a coach who has like 1,500 followers or 2,000 followers, who's not this, not this, not this, not this. Then listen to this, right? If you are this and not this, this is when you can separate the audience, right? Because the thing is that everybody's trying to appeal to everybody, but the thing that will change their life is 5 to 10 clients per month consistently. So talk to those 5 to 10 clients per month. Talk to 5 to 10 clients all the time. So you get those 5 to 10 clients, right? And so then you have to which can scale. But essentially the same thing is that it's not going to change. And now, okay, now I got 5 to 10 clients. I want to scale. It's not going to be differently, right? It's going to be the same thing, just attracting people. So now it's going to be 25 clients. Those 25 clients are the same as those 5 to 10 clients. So you're just going to talk the same way that you talk to those 5 to 10 clients. It's just that like on that audience that you had, let's say you had 100 people, now you have like 1,000 people. So now those 5 to 10 clients are a bigger part. So now it's going to be 25 clients. That's the thing, right? So nurturing content, if you don't have testimonials and like results in your own story, you like your own story, well, then you want to share expertise value. Now for conversion content, is that it's not going to be main focus on reels and content on Instagram, right? It's going to be more stories, right? But essentially, most people that are following, they don't know what you're selling, right? They don't know your service. Those type of content are here to show your value and what you can do what you can do and what is your offer. So this I can convert followers into clients and speed up the purchasing process with sales content. And essentially, you are putting out your offer, and you are telling them where you can get them, right? So what they are, where you can get them, and you can also tell them like, here's where you are, and I can get you there, right? And you have like somewhat hell and heaven. And then what you want to do in your call to action is use urgency and scarcity. As like urgency is by time, as like in this amount of time is going to be closed, and scarcity is by units available. Units available. As like there's only 12 spots left, right? This is how you want to go for converted content, right? And for converting content is to make it impactful to those 5 to 10 clients is going to be by using their pain point or their goal, but their specific pain point, their specific goal as like if you and more to it like if it's something like you're more talking. Here's the thing: if you're talking only to businesses, if you talk only business, now it's going to be a business pain point. As like if you're struggling to posting content every single day, well then I have found that like, well then here's what you want to do, and you break down the value. What is the solution? Why is it the solution, and why is it the solution for them? And the how is going to be offered. So like if you want to know how to do this, you put out the offer. But now if you are doing personal branding business content, which is like then here's what the thing we can do is by talking about their life, right? It's like you can go like if you are sick working at the 9 to 5, or if you are, this one thing that people talk about. Like, I need to find something else. As like exactly, if you are sick of going to restaurants and not being able to take every single side, right? I went one time to a restaurant to date with a girl, and I see there was like a Japanese restaurant. It was gyoza at the sides, and I would take every single side. It's like I would have ate them. Like she would eat like a half of each, or even half of 3. And I would eat them all. Right, there was like 4 per boxes, and I looked at the boxes. It was like €9, I think 9 or 11 euro the boxes. 4 gyoza for the €9. So I took one. Right, I wanted to take. There was like 5, I think like 4 or 5 different sizes. I wanted to take every single one of them. But gyoza is nothing, bro. I eat. It's like I want to take every single one of them, but I couldn't and had the money, right? I went there once with a friend, and I knew the prices. They were like 13 for a ramen. Okay, cool. I know what I want to take on the ramen. She took like a fried rice. It was like 15. Okay, cool. And you pay for the woman you go on a date. And so I know, okay, 28. Nice. Gyoza. Okay, cool. It's 37 now. I want to take every single one of those sides, but I couldn't. I just didn't have the money. This is one thing that tech can drive you, right? As like the own personal experience of like, are you sick of going to a restaurant and not being able to take every single side, right? Well then, like with this one, everyone's like again, pull out a different way. You can use your personal story here. Just sales comment for myself. I 2 years ago I went on a date with a girl, and 2 years ago I went on a date. But it looks a bit like monstrous to go on a date with a girl and to take like every single side, right? So when you go on a date with a girl, you don't want to do this, of course, right? But I still want to take every single side. It wasn't that much of a date, right? Only went a couple how do you call this? Out a couple times, right? So like if all day, and she already knew how much I eat, so that's fine. But essentially, I can go like I went on a date with a girl 2 years ago, and coming to the restaurant, I want to take every single side, and I couldn't because I didn't have the money. Have you ever experienced this? Right now, now when I go to restaurants, I do this, right? And the way I did this is by boom, you show off but this is by starting off a business, or like by the way I did this is by I did this. If you want to learn how to do the same, boom, call to action. This can be used for sales conversion, sales content. I hope that video was useful for you, and I'll see you next time.